They make a note throughout this whole movie that Enola Holmes backwards means alone. It's actually quite interesting. When I was younger, my parents used to call me Kid, but they always spelt it really weirdly. And I always wondered what... Oh. So, Enola Holmes. I genuinely had no idea this movie was even in the works until it popped up on my Netflix recommendation feed. And well, shit. We have a pretty great movie on our hands out of nowhere. Enola Holmes is this light-hearted family mystery movie following the story of Holmes. Not quite Sherlock Holmes, who we all know of by now and love, but instead his younger sister. And this was the interesting thing for me actually, because I didn't even know Sherlock Holmes had any siblings. We've seen over the recent years Sherlock Holmes being depicted alongside Watson, but this made me ask the question which I never thought to ask, which was, what is Sherlock Holmes' family actually like? And yeah, this story centres around the youngest of the three children, Enola, and her mission to find her mother, who without any word or warning just ups and left the Holmes home. And in a desperate attempt to not get sent off into a boarding school, and to hone her skills as a novice detective, she sets out on this journey to find her mother, and solve these mysteries that unravel along the way. And this was really interesting and fun to watch for me. The whole Holmes family was portrayed by an amazing cast. The centre character and the youngest child in this family, Enola, was played by Millie Bobby Brown, who kind of broke into stardom with her role as Eleven in Stranger Things. And she kicks a lot of ass in this, to be fair. It's quite nice to see her not have a nosebleed every 5 minutes as well. The mother is played by Helena Bonham Carter, the oldest son, Mycroft, is played by Sam Claflin, and Sherlock himself is played by none other than Henry Cavill. God, Henry Cavill's had a great career. Superman, Witcher, and just to top it off, Sherlock Holmes now as well. You don't have too many scenes with Helena Bonham Carter, which was a bit of a shame, but you do get a bit more in quantity with both Mycroft and Sherlock Holmes, who, to be fair, I could watch a whole nother movie alone on just those two characters. Sherlock's portrayed very differently to how we're used to seeing him in recent years. When played by both Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr., he's very quirky, knows what he's doing, but doesn't quite mesh in well with society. Henry Cavill's portrayal of Sherlock is very different. He's way more cool, calm and collected, and has way better social skills than this. And I find a lot of my entertainment came from watching the siblings interact with each other throughout the whole movie. It was nice to see this different side of Sherlock Holmes, one that wasn't necessarily about the mysteries, and that's because this time it's the youngest sister's turn to solve the crimes. This is a very family-orientated movie, and with it comes some light-hearted humour, and a very easy to watch story from start to finish. Enola Holmes feels very similar to her older brother Sherlock, but doesn't quite have that real world experience. So you get this fun mixture of moments of brilliance combined with lapses of complete stupidity. And for the most part, I think it plays off pretty well. My only complaint would be the insane amount of fourth wall breaking that goes on in this film. Throughout the whole movie, there's segments of Enola either narrating her actions to the camera directly, or giving us camera glances mid-scene, as if she was Jim from The Office or something. And it feels completely unnecessary. I get this movie is going for that quirky comedic feeling, and the editing is very much reflective of that. They do this great job of mixing cuts from flashbacks, motion graphics, and present day footage to make for an interesting blend of storytelling. But the fourth wall breaking goes way overboard and makes it feel very jarring. This movie has its fair share of emotional scenes and touching moments between characters, but it feels very muddled and flaky when you know it's being interrupted by camera winks and lazy narration to push the story forward. It wants to be Deadpool and Titanic at the same time, and it doesn't mix well at all. I think it would have made for a more consistent emotional message if you took out the fourth wall breaking and instead used some clever storytelling to push the narration forward to give the audience what they need to understand the weight of the scenes they're watching. That's really my only complaint with the movie. It's not a groundbreaker, but it certainly is a fresh take on the Sherlock Holmes stories that we've all seen so far. Yeah, it probably doesn't help that I have a huge man crush on Henry Cavill as well. God. But nonetheless, I'm happy to say that this is worth the watch, and I would definitely recommend this to people. But let me know if you've seen Enola Holmes on Netflix already, and what your thoughts on it might be. I've seen the IMDb rating for this movie, and I feel like it's a little bit harsh for what it is. I myself would be more than happy to see more of Enola Holmes and the rest of the cast in future movies. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, animes, and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.